because there's another show that has been lighting up my little life for the last couple of weeks. I can't quite believe it, Andy. It's called
PICARD.
Star Trek PICARD. Everybody,
PICARD. That was really loud.
Oh God! So yes, off to the final frontier, the 24th century. Is it still 24th century?
I don't know.
And the cast of The Next Generation.
25th.
Recently reunited, returned to the screen for Star Trek PICARD, this third 10-part season, and this is our continuing mission to keep track with Trek. And this story works its way to a conclusion, really. I'm finding it all very, very exciting. When we last saw it, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Chris, he's only got a son.
Well, no. Yes.
Is that shocked? Go on, sorry, mate. Yes.
Oh, yes, he has a son. Wait, is that a spoiler?
No.
I've seen it.
Everybody's
Yeah,
seen
y'all seen it. If you didn't,
Y'all
blame
seen
Dan.
it.
Way to go, Dan. You spoiled it. Well, no, spoilers. Bunch of
So
spoilers.
Jack Crusher is
does
the
have a
son.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on, you carry on. Yes, Jack Crusher is the son of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Has that sunk in with you yet, Chris?
Well, I kind of figured this is where what they were going with this. It wasn't exactly, I would say it was subtle. But yes, so Picard, after they mysteriously, for reasons nobody will understand, killed off his family and generations, he is now once again able to continue the Picard family line. He has a son who kind of looks like him, and they even explained away the British accent.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought this was awesome.
That
I
was
will
funny.
say my tweet summarized it up. This is the best the Star Trek franchise has been since Deep Space Nine, and nobody is more shocked than me because I figured this was dead. But no, it's come back in stellar form. I do have two little niggles about the episode, though.
Interesting. Generally speaking, though, I think Keith's really smiling, but Keith's always smiling. I think you know what. So's Andy. Andy, you're really smiling too. Is it 3 for 3 then for you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great episode. There's a couple of stupid things in there, but all the good just outweighs the bad so much.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I can live with a couple of stupid things, but I mean the interactions with Picard and Riker in this episode were phenomenal. You know, at the end I was like, oh, I was like, I hope they make it up. It's like, it's
okay,
like,
just think, if you're one of the people out there who's not watching this, one of the very few people now, I think, who've come round to this. This is episode 3 of season 3 of Picard. It's called 17 Seconds, and this is the premise. It says that Picard grapples with an explosive, life-altering revelation while the Titan and her crew try to outmaneuver a relentless Vadik in a lethal game of nautical cat and mouse. Meanwhile, Raffi and Worf uncover a nefarious plot from a vengeful enemy Starfleet had long since forgotten. This is written by Jane Maggs and Cindy Apple, directed by Jonathan Frakes as well. Directed and starred in. I'll be honest, Andy, this is the best acting I think I've ever seen from Jonathan Frakes. I know he's not acted for a while, but I was so impressed with everything that he did in this, and the fact that he was there doing some of the action, the character stuff, Chris, all those beats, and the smaller moments too, and directing it. My God, this man needs to get more work. What a talent!
Star Trek Riker, please.
How old is he in real life?
70.
Oh.
Is he 70?
He looks amazing. He looks really good.
He does look great for 70.
He's barely got a wrinkle,
60,
to be honest.
62.
He's like, phenomenal. And you know, and doing that much, you know, directing and acting, like I say, that's probably a long old day. So, you know, if you're 70 and he's still cracking on, I mean, good for him, you know. And
he's in LA. Loads of gyms around.
All those kale smoothies or something, I don't know. But no, I think he's done a really, really good job. A really good job of this episode. And, you know, bringing changelings back from DS9. I mean, you know, this show is just building week on week. And already I'm like, you just know the finale is going to be just blow out tiny minds. I'm sure it is. I just keep going. Just don't up.
Yeah, just
Keep
keep the
going with
momentum
it.
going, don't stuff it up. No, I completely agree. I mean, Keith mentioned a moment ago the fact that that Boba Fett feels like a slight Boba Fett, that the Mandalorian, that opening episode of season 3 of that, feels like this kind of reset and a restart. And this now, as each week goes on, Chris, this feels like a reset. I'm not going to say reboot, but a reset and a relaunch of the entire Star Trek universe, not just the Next Generation. And things in this, it's the big screen and small screen Star Trek. It's all being expanded on, I think, Chris, with this.
Yeah, reboot doesn't work. I would say it's almost a jump over, jumping from 2005, well, I guess 2002 for the Next Generation to present. I am still pretty much in shock as to. I think we always knew maybe at least one of these destroyed franchises would turn around, and I'd always figured Star Trek was the least destroyed because there was so much time separation between real Trek and the STD of things. So I figured there was a chance it might turn around. I did not expect this. I expected this may have been a mediocre season at best. But no, you've got everything thrown at you. Jonathan Frakes given the best material he's ever worked, the best performance I think we've ever seen from him, and maybe even Patrick Stewart were in this episode. You know, the scenes between Patrick Stewart and Gates McFadden, and the fact that this officially throws out Gene Roddenberry's original philosophy for the Next Generation, which was a problem while he was running the show, was that there would be no internal conflict, which is one of the reasons why those first 2 seasons suck as bad as they do. Like we have conflict, but it's not forced conflict. We have the situation with Picard and Crusher, which I think was done wonderfully, and we understand each other's perspective. But the thing that I like, and I think it is in keeping with both characters, is basically the fallout between Riker and Picard in this episode, because Riker was never afraid to tell Picard what he thought, even when he was under him. But I
Chris,
think
it's a heart-stopping scene, isn't it? As well, they're all heart-stopping scenes as their relationship sort of progresses. I mean, maybe to a crisis point. We don't know. We've been following these characters for 35 years, but we've never seen them in a situation like that before, have we? And it's the same. It's the same with Picard and finding out that he's a father. How will he respond to that? Beverly Crusher too. Here we're presented with the character 20 years on from when we last saw her, who seems to be recovering from a set of traumas over her entire life that have led her down this particular path.
And and you're showing right there, that's one of the only, right here, the 2 issues I have with this are encapsulated in the image you're showing now. So I'll give my 2 problems. The first one is an issue with the budget. The de-aging was, well, it is what it is. It's not great. It was
rubbish.
Again, budget limitations. The second one is I didn't like Troy during the original run. She was by far my least favorite character. I can't stand Marina Sirtis. She is reprehensible. She's said horrific things about fans, and I knew it was coming.
Really?
God! I've got Dan. At some point, look at a video.
More political stuff, Dan.
Oh, I see.
Like
just
nasty. Oh well, no. She said if you have no business being a Star Trek fan if you subscribe to a certain political ideology. But it's like I've never liked her character anyway. I've never liked her as an actress. I think her brief scene here, the acting was rubbish. To use a British term, like it was really bad.
Troy does seem to be getting more and more Cockney as the years go on, and I don't think she's been to school. Like
no, she. So I just hope if that's all we get from her, that would be awesome. Because even that one appearance was too much for me. But aside from that's the only real down point this season. Other than that, it's just I will shut up. But it's absolutely brilliant. But yes, at some point just search under my old name and Marina Sirtis and you'll just find some nasty comments a few years ago.
She did, yeah, it's out of order. It's very disappointing in her.
The side to the storyline that was carrying on sort of parallel to all of this, Keith, involving Raffi, where she was undercover. for intelligence. That's really starting to connect now. Obviously, Michael Dorn's back on screen as Worf after a big break. I think Worf has always been played by Michael Dorn, and I think he's been in more Star Trek episodes than anybody else, hasn't he? Like 270 or so, something like that.
Yeah, that's correct. He has done more Star Trek than anyone, because obviously he did all of the Next Gen episodes and films, plus he did 4 seasons of DS9, and he was also even in Star Trek 6 playing one of his ancestors. So he's done a lot, and I'm loving, I have to say, the Raffi and Worf team up that we're getting in this. I think it's great. I could watch a show about this.
It just works, doesn't it? It just works. I knew these characters would get on.
Raffi. It's taken them 3 seasons, but they found out, where Raffi really works, and this is it, I think. So yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Obviously, it's during these scenes we start to see the plot play out. The changelings are involved, who were the main. I'd say they were the main bad guy of Deep Space Nine, weren't they? If you were look at something that connects all 7 seasons, and this is the beauty of it. I mean, we were promised by, I think it was Terry Matalas who said this, that this season would incorporate many different aspects of all of Star Trek and sort of bring it all together. But I wasn't really sure how that was going to be achieved. But it would seem that by including the Dominion and the Changelings, of which Odo was one, wasn't he? We followed that character for 7 years. This is a great start. And I always felt that if you're looking at villains from Star Trek history that have been left underexplored, that we still know so little about, I'd say they're pretty high up there, aren't they, Ian?
Sorry. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Shall I talk about this episode now? I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it. There are obviously, what Chris said, there's loads of little bits that really annoyed me, like the de-aging was absolutely awful. I was just, when I saw that scene, I was like, oh no. There are thousands of people out there can do deep fake on YouTube. Why don't they just hire one of them? Do you know what I mean? But they didn't, obviously. Another thing that I think Andy said it in the other episodes, I always got annoyed when they went to Raffi. I wanted us to stick with Picard and Riker, because I like their dynamics so much. I wanted to stay with them. Every time it went to Worf and Raffi, I was like, oh, come on, get back to the ship, get back to the ship. So to me, this episode was very, very enjoyable, but it's not without its faults, obviously. The bit I loved the most out of the whole episode, seriously, is when Picard told off Beverly Crusher. I was like, yes, you cow, you didn't even tell him you were pregnant. And he was so right. Everything he said was so right. She's definitely in the wrong. She's definitely, no matter what she said, no matter how she tried to justify it, she didn't tell him. It was absolute bollocks. He was,
and that's the thing, she was definitely I felt she was like trying to justify it to herself.
Yes.
And when she was saying it out loud, she was almost like, oh, yeah.
And that's
the
first time we saw Picard, right, not being upstaged by a woman. So yes, that's a plus in this episode. Definitely.
The acting was outstanding.
Yeah, it was
beautifully written. And for me, Keith, this scene perfectly illustrates what's been missing from most of Star Trek since 2017. And even the early stuff on Discovery, which I liked. And you see, there's some of it to some extent in Strange New Worlds. But what's been missing has been concepts explored in a rounded way. And it was just saying, oh, he's definitely in the right and she's in the wrong. But there are 2 sides to this story. And this script offers us both, for us to decide who, because she's not necessarily wrong either, is she? Wherever you sit with this.
I think that this scene was both well written and well acted, and I agree. It gives across both sides of the story. They both have a point, and I mean, that's life, isn't it?
That's what Star Trek used to traditionally do, wasn't it? With moral dilemmas.
Exactly. It didn't come across as trying to have some sort of preachy subtext or anything like that. It was about the characters and their history, and I thought it was great. I really
Did you believe, Keith, that they hadn't seen one another for 20 years?
I know people. I've got a couple of friends that don't like Picard, that aren't enjoying this season at all so far. So
that's
even though we're all lauding it here, that it does have its I won't say haters, but there are people out there that don't think it's that great.
I know people who aren't watching it on principle, but that's a very different thing to people who don't think it's very good.
Yeah, no. I know these people are actually watching it and not enjoying it. But I can't say that I'm one of those. I'm absolutely on board with this. I mean, bearing in mind that season 2, when it started, I enjoyed for the first couple of episodes, and then it really didn't stick the landing. But I have to say, I've got a feeling that this is going to stick the landing. Jonathan Frakes, by the way, I echo what everybody's saying there. Great in this. And you know what? The man, I mean, he's had years of experience now, but he's a really good director. He is a really good director. And I'm just kind of loving. I think I said on my stream that I prefer this Riker than the scruffy haired, wearing an apron, making pizza, right?
I'd forgotten about that.
Also, just let me say, also the scene where he talks to Picard's son is great because he is the experienced one, and even though he was being flippant, Picard's son was being flippant, and he's the usual, he's the youth. But it's always the person that's old enough and has more experience that you should listen to. And he's doing the typical thing where he's not really listening to what Riker is saying. But Riker literally owned that scene. He owned it. So yeah.
You can call me Captain if you like.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I loved about that subtextually is obviously he tells the story at the beginning about Thaddeus, which was obviously his Indiana's child that didn't live.
Yes.
And I believe that had that child survived, it would have been about the same age as Jack Crusher in this. So again, I kind of love the way the dots joined up.
What's that guy's name, Dan? The guy in the middle here.
Sure.
Captain Shaw.
I thought that was Ben Shapiro to the left of him.
He made me laugh so much. He just went, right, you got us into this mess. You get us out of it. And he went to sick bay.
Brilliant.
He was like, bye.
He's a great character. Because he is such the opposite to Riker and Picard that it plays really well, doesn't it? It's that balance that they're not all gung ho heroes. Not that this guy's a coward, but he's got a very different sort of way he views things.
I think what's really nice here is when we watch this and go with the story, this actually feels like it's been properly thought through. Whereas my criticism with the first 2 seasons of Picard is it had this real feeling that it was being made up as it went along. Whether or not that was the case, it had that vibe to it. Whereas this actually feels like it's got, it's about the characters and.
That's the difference, isn't it? I mean, even though it's an overarching story, Keith, because I think we've said before, Andy, we've spoken about this, how tired we got of these big cataclysmic event stories on Discovery, and not just that, but other shows too. And here we are with another overarching story, but because it's about people rather than about spectacle, there are things in it in the thing that are spectacular, but we're watching this because of the people, aren't we?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the character interactions, how their relationships have grown and developed. I mean, I think Tomataz has pulled off a miracle just sort of making Raffi sort of tolerable. I mean, who knew that was possible? And I love the way
tolerable.
Yeah, tolerable, but
he's not tolerable.
But I love as well how Worf calls her like Raffaella, and it's almost like drawing a line again, saying, okay, my Raffi is Raffaella, that Kurtzman crap is Raffi. He sort of renamed her and moving forward and go, okay, this is how this character should be.
Also, I like to point out as well, I like the idea that the old crew have more experience and wisdom than the rest. Like, for instance, Beverly Crusher, when she was with the patient.
She's the doctor out there.
Yeah, the doctor came along and said, "No, you can't do that." And she's like, "No, if we do this, 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 and this, then we can do it." She has the experience.
Yeah.
She outclassed her.
She's
and
got
I like
that field
that.
experience, hasn't she? When she's been doing Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a scanner.
The only slight nitpick I thought with that, because I agree, I think that was great, but that doctor, the other doctor, is a trill, right? And by design, aren't trills supposed to have, you know, hundreds of years of knowledge?
No, it's only a small percentage.
They can be.
of trills.
Yeah.
Maybe she just
in a
joined.
pouch, isn't she? She's
Maybe
sitting
she
in a pouch.
maybe she just joined, and that's why she hasn't got enough experience. But I love that. That's Riker, Picard, and Beverly have the experience, more experience than anyone on that crew. I love that because they've been trashing people of age for a very long time in Hollywood, and it's nice to see that, you know, they are respected.
Treated with respect, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's great.
Apparently all of the principal cast are over 70 now, which I found very difficult to believe.
I think
but
LeVar Burton can't be, because he was like one of the youngest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be like 60
Who, what?
something. LeVar Burton, is he 60 something?
No, they were all in their. Well, keep in mind, 1987 was
True.
36 years.
Will Wheaton was the youngest.
Yeah. I just wiped that from my memory.
Just looking it up right now, LeVar Burton is
Come on, mother, how could you?
68 or something?
66.
66.
I feel young for once. This is great.
So Matt, we have in this as well, we have lots of starship on spaceship action, nebulas floating around, photon torpedoes, ships falling out of the sky. We've got big
It's the best
voids.
bit, isn't it? But I don't know.
Dogfights, mate.
I was worried that the fact that they once bitten, twice shy, but no, they just kept doing the whole thing with the what do they call it? That vortex thing that they were creating. And you know, I was like, obviously you would put that in consideration after the first time, but no, they just kept bloody doing it.
That's one of the things that I didn't agree with. Yeah, I agree
I
with
thought that was
that.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was
And
definitely stupid. Yeah.
Another thing that really annoyed me, not so much the ship. I mean, I love shit. I love ship porn. Okay, I love it. It's awesome. Action, you know, ship on ship, and I love that sort of stuff. And but one of the things that really annoyed me was, yes, besides the principal actors, some of the extras, the talking extras fall flat. I find that the bald Vulcan lady
I like her.
No, it's a nice visual. Doesn't make any sense, and she can't really act. And also, there was a scene that actually took me out very early on in the actual episode where this crew member is being treated, and he turns around to Jack and he goes, "This is all your fault." And I thought, and it just totally put me out, because I was
That's
like,
not very Starfleet. No.
I was like, well, yeah, that's not Starfleet, you know. Starfleet. No, that just doesn't work for me anyway.
I continue myself to be rather charmed by all of the new cast members in this. The guy in the top left-hand corner, who I think he's Bajoran, isn't he? Because I think we see him wearing an earpiece. Did you spot that,
first
Chris?
time I've realised that.
So
I think so. That was I don't. It's one of my. When I look at the bridge crew, I'm like, yeah, this is a holdover from Kurtzman Trek. It didn't distract from me too much, but yeah, that Vulcan was that was another bad performance.
I was waiting for one to
Logic
come out in the
dictates.
wheelchair.
I'm like, what? You're like 30? No, we don't care what logic dictates. Shut up and do your job. But yeah, it's
she doesn't act very Vulcan either. That one.
Yeah, it's a small thing. It doesn't. Our focus isn't on them, but we can see some of these.
She's supposed to be a science officer, you know.
Well, this is the thing. One of the reasons why I have sort of, I won't say I've latched onto the character, but why I've liked the character and what we've seen of her is that uncertainty, because I think in recent past, not just on other Trek shows, but in a lot of media, we've seen women who are all very strong, very capable, very, very certain of everything they're doing. And here, in these characters, all of these characters, we see a lot of characters with a certain amount of nuance, or that we can relate to, that we feel like we know. I mean, take Geordie's daughter, for example. Every scene that girl's in, she's just, you can't help but like her. You can't help but root for her. How she was with Seven.
Gush over Seven, yeah, she did. Yeah.
When she went to her loyalty, she's clearly she wants to get on and she wants to do right by her captain, by Captain Shaw. But when it came to the crunch, she clearly got to a point where she asked herself a question, and she decided that her allegiance should be with Seven.
Friendship.
I agree with you, Ben.
It wasn't overwritten. It was really nicely played. A character that everybody can. She could be any of our daughters or nieces or whatever. And I felt the same about most of these characters. That Bajoran guy they keep cutting back to. You see the kind of the way he's holding back. He's trying to do his job, but you see the fear in the actor's eyes. I just think, and I think they've all been fantastic so far.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The only thing was whoever said about the guy saying this is all your fault. I agree that was a nap line. But other than that,
it was delivered badly as well.
Yeah.
Thomas Dekker plays this changeling there. I was really surprised when this was revealed that he was a changeling. Didn't see that coming at all.
Can I just say also that the fact, Dan, that the changelings the special effects weren't that great compared to Deep Space Nine.
I thought they were considerably better. They've done a massive.
It didn't click with me that they were a changeling because of the fact that they were.
The effects are different. I think they've done a makeover on them because obviously some people are watching this in 4K, so you could see that they'd looked at it again. And there are lots of little things about it that are different, but it didn't look so different as you thought. You couldn't understand that it was a changeling if you'd seen the show before, if you'd seen the Deep Space Nine, I mean. But this actor, Thomas Dekker here, I recognised him. I couldn't quite work out where from, but I remember then he was the lead in the Terminator show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh, yeah, I heard he had his shoes.
Yeah. I thought he was Deck in Anti-Deck.
I thought he was. I thought he was dead. I thought he died.
He was the character of Thomas Picard in the Star Trek Generations movie back in 1994. So this is his third Star Trek role. He was in a couple of episodes of Voyager as well. So I recognised him.
He's in Heroes
recognised him from Heroes and from Terminator. But yeah, I went and looked it up just to make sure I was right. It turns out he's been in Star Trek several times. I've got.
He had a mental problem too, wasn't it? Oh no, that's the other Thomas. No. I'm thinking of the other. He was in Terminator. Terminator 3. The other.
I understand that we've got to lose our friend Chris from Cultivated Media here. So before you go, Chris, is there any parting shot you've got for this episode of Star Trek Picard, and how much you're looking forward to the next one? Do you want to make a guess about what's going to happen next? Because the situation is pretty desperate, isn't it, at the moment where we last saw them?
Well, my guess is I think the space battle is going to go on for, I think, max one more episode, and then we're going to go to the next stage, and I think things are going to get even wackier. It's going to be wacky doodle time. The one other niggle I had, which I forgot to bring up, but I wish they would do, I love the end credits. They've got the blue text back. They've got the theme in the background. I just wish they wouldn't list the original crew as guest stars.
Yeah, they do that.
Because Michelle Hurd and Crusher's son is also, for some reason, included in the main cast. Jerry Ryan I'm okay with, but no, they shouldn't be guest stars. And there might be some kind of contractual reason for that. Going back to when the show was first formulated.
Goes back to Lost in Space, I reckon.
Yeah. It's like, it's probably maybe Patrick Stewart had that in his contract or something. I don't know, but that's
because it's all because of top billing, isn't it? It's like, I think
it's because he had to be at the top. But yes, I must head out because my weekend's a bit insane. But I wanted to say thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm not going to cheat and get all the episodes at once. I really enjoy watching this 1 week at a time because it's been years since any show has got me into it like this. But I must go. But
nice
to
to see you
everybody,
again, Chris.
Keith, Andy, Matt, Stick Figure, that's me. Have a good weekend, y'all. And
same to you, Chris. Thanks for your company as always, mate. I'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye, buddy.
Man.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so these the special effects in this dogfight I thought were just fantastic and fantastical too. This weapon is so visual. I don't know if I'd describe it as comic book visuals, but it's certainly classic science fiction and a big idea. It's obviously connected to the same weapon. Whatever weapon was used to wipe out that Starfleet installation, it was an Academy installation, wasn't it, in episode 1? It's the same technology. Where it's going, I'm not entirely sure, but they did say that the theft of a weapon from the Daystrom Institute was a distraction from something else, from other things that are going on. So it seems like this plot is going to get ever deeper, and obviously more players are going to enter it at some point. And the feeling I get with watching this as well, Matt, is because this is the end of the Next Generation story, that potentially some of these characters, that not everybody will make it out of the show alive. I really do feel that.
Oh, well, Picard's definitely toast. Well, he is. I'm sorry, he is. But
he's dead already
there are
anyway.
There are two questions that I'm interested in knowing. One of them you may be able to answer. The other one, you may not. So there's coming from this episode, and that is, firstly, who's the hero that Worf talks about? Is it Odo?
Yes.
I think
says
so,
that there's
yeah.
someone honourable.
They were together on Deep Space Nine for 4 seasons, and he joined the Great Link right at the end there. So I'd say that was Odo, and he's reached out to him telepathically, maybe, I don't know.
Okay. And then the second one is in the ship, when they originally scanned the ship, they noticed that there's some tech. That weaponry tech that they still haven't got anything on. Is that the portal? Is that the portal technology? Do you think that they're using that they couldn't detect, or?
I think it might be something else that we haven't.
Okay.
There's going to be a reveal. I think. I don't know. It felt like it was setting something up.
Something else has been stolen. There's clearly something else in the equation.
Yeah, because they stole the portal weapon and used it. So they think that's the only thing they took. But what we're hearing is that they took something even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Or someone took something even more dangerous, and we don't know what that is. But it looks like the changelings are involved somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I love the fact that this show is actually making me think about this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering.
You actually give a shit. That's good.
I was wondering, and I don't know because the markings on her face, but I did wonder: is Vadik a changeling as well?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, but she's doing a bloody good job. I'm loving this performance. Loving it.
Rosie, isn't it? From LA Law.
One of my only downsides, God, I don't even want to say that, but the only thing that I was a little disappointed about episode 3 is that we didn't see or hear as much from her as I wanted to, because I was hanging on her every word in episode 2. I think this is fantastic casting. She's a brilliant actress.
I love her 70s shirt she's got on there. Brilliant, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you see it? The 70s
Yeah.
the collar there.
With bubbles on it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Oh,
She's great. She's great. She's quite frightening. She's
I don't think she's going to make it through the whole series, to be honest. I think she's going to be a very early casualty. To be honest.
She might be like Darth Vader, where she flies away at the end.
Yeah, I think she's a red herring, but
could be a bigger villain coming down the line.
Yeah, I don't think she's the big bad, but she knows who the big bad is. I think.
Yeah, she's
if there is a
obviously
big bad,
working
Yeah.
Well, they're saying that they're bounty hunters, and then all of a sudden, they're probably not.
We're not having those sort of weapons. I wouldn't have thought so.
Did you think the pilot she's got on her ship, which are all helmeted and whatever? Do you think those might be like a version of the Jem'Hadar or something? As we've got changelings in.
I was wondering why they're covered. Is it for a plot reason, like they don't want us to see who they are next, or is it just because it looks cool? Because was it you, Andy, who said that the budget on this season is actually heavily reduced, even though in my mind this looks so much better, that they're doing it for a fraction of the budget.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Disco and those had like £10 million an episode. I don't know what they've got, but I know they haven't got 10 million. Hence why some of the CGI is a little bit iffy sometimes. But like I say, there's so much going for it that because you're not bored off your well, in my case, my tits. I'm not sitting there looking like criticizing all the CGI bits. I'm actually paying attention to what's going on and the acting and the action and all of that. So I'm much more forgiving. But yeah, I mean, they basically did have a fraction of the budget that the Disco and the other stuff.
75% of the actual episodes themselves is either on the ship, Raffi's ship, or out or somewhere else. So you can see how they've condensed the money spent. So it's a good thing, because that's what the old
if the writing do, exactly right? If the writing and the
elevates the writing,
and the performances are good, then you know, hence why the original series is still so popular. Look at the effects in that, but we don't care because it was good storytelling.
And I think the fact that, I mean, I didn't know that it was going to be the what do you call them, the changelings. I was surprised by that, generally surprised by that. I
just thought you had a rash.
It was also the fact I love the fact that it's but I love the fact that it's that, you know, they've become a bit complacent. Starfleet's become a bit complacent now, and they probably thought that the changeling thing was over with, and, you know, the whole Dominion War was over with, and you know, it's something that's going to happen, like, you know, it just pops out of nowhere, like these things with you know, current politics, where things just pop out of nowhere. So I love that sort of.
Also,
I did wonder, Matt.
I did the main changeling that beat up Picard's son. You see him on the bridge, don't you? He's one of those people.
We've seen him several times over the first 3 episodes.
He's looked shifty the whole time, so you kind of knew that he, you know, these sort of sideways glances. You know, he's like, he's a bit iffy, but I didn't think he was going to be a changeling.
There's a rash on his face. No, he's a changeling.
I didn't realise it was the changelings, obviously, but I did wonder if it was the characters from the that ending episode of season 1 of TNG, Keith. The conspiracy creatures, the little sort of worm creatures.
Things.
Yeah,
because they
once their heads exploded.
They always promised that they would.
Again, did we?
They always promised they were going to do something with that, and it never happened. I thought maybe this is the last bit of unfinished business, but it seems not. I got back in the 90s? Deep Space Nine is my favourite all-time Star Trek show, but back in the 90s. I did get a little bit wharfed out on Michael Dorn. All those seasons, nothing against Michael and nothing really against Worf. I just feel the character was on screen for so long. And so Michael Dorn has spent the last 15 years aggressively petitioning for a Worf series, and there was nothing that interested me less. But seeing him back on screen now and remembering some of those moments and him having so many great lines there in this episode, I'm now at a place where I think, I could probably go for a Worf show. And if we do, if other shows, spin-off shows do come out of this, then why not? I think this evolution of the character is, it sounded really corny, the idea that he'd turned pacifist almost, and was almost, somebody mentioned Ronin earlier on. Is that kind of character? He's gone down another path.
He's turned pacifist, but cuts people's heads off.
It doesn't really sit. I don't know how that works.
I think he just doesn't lose his temper. That's what being a pacifist.
Yeah. So clearly the character has evolved. Which is what you want your. In fact, all of these characters I feel have evolved. On the surface of it, Riker looked like he'd kind of devolved, but due to some great writing and the fact that Jonathan Frakes could somehow make it seem perfectly reasonable that the character he's been able to sort of step back into his active Federation officer role after years away. It just all rings so true, and it's probably due to the fact these actors know their characters so well, and so do the writers. I mean, again, it's two new writers on this one, not Terry Matalas this time, but I do get the impression that I use the word shape a lot, but I'm getting it loud and clear with this, Keith, that every single part of this was written, tightened up, and put into place probably before they even started filming, let alone before the thing was finished. And so I actually watched episodes 1 and 2 again about 5 days ago, just because I knew there was loads of stuff that I'd probably missed. And the episode 1 starts with with Picard and Riker talking, and he says, I've never been someone who needed a legacy. And of course, within an episode, we've met his son. And is that going to be the end point where he thinks he doesn't need a legacy? But the truth is that he probably does. And unbeknownst to him, he actually does have one. Is that where it's going?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. But what a lovely thing that you've wanted to, and I've had the same experience, that you've actually wanted to go back and rewatch this stuff. Because, like, obviously, I bought, for physical media, I bought Picard season 1 on Blu-ray when it came out, and it was basically so I could watch the special features and stuff on it. But have I actually put this in to rewatch or indeed restreamed the episodes? Not at all. I have no desire to. Whereas this, I could see me going back and watching the whole thing again when it ends, and I think that's a really positive thing, because that's what I always wanted to do with Star Trek and other TV shows back in the day. So I think that's really positive. Yeah,
it is. I can see myself watching this again, if only to take in Patrick Stewart's incredible performance in the last 10 minutes. Well, Patrick Stewart and Jonathan Frakes, come to think of it, taking their friendship and their working relationship of sorts to a place we've never seen before. Obviously, the stakes are very, very high. Picard made an error of judgment. He made a call, and the dynamic between them was kind of shifting as we were watching it, as they both tried to adjust. I love the fact that Picard deferred to Riker as being, obviously, he's the captain. He respects him. He's his friend. And he when he tells him to get off the bridge, not only does he do so, but he knows why. He accepts what he's done, what his actions have led them to. And seeing Picard in that place, in fact, various emotional states they put him through in this, when he thinks he's lost the son that he didn't know he had, in that trip down in the elevator, in the turbo lift. It's all those moments. This is a man, Patrick Stewart is a man, as you would say, Ian, a man of age. And he's not been off the screen. He's not been anywhere. Multiple movies and TV shows Patrick Stewart's been in. He's well into his 80s. I don't think I've ever seen him be better than this, certainly.
Yeah, he's good in this. I mean, the whole episode is really entertaining. There are things I didn't like about it, that like for instance, I don't think Picard would have made that call, especially knowing, as Matt pointed out, especially knowing that weapon they've got, they can turn things around and shape space and time and all that stuff. So I don't.
He'd think about it strategically, wouldn't he? Ian?
Yeah, he would. And that's one of the things I had a problem with this episode.
Maneuver.
But it didn't spoil my enjoyment. And I love the idea that he says, "Get off the bridge. You've just killed us all."
But I think Mike made a really good.
Yeah, that annoyed me too.
That cliffhanger, and I like that.
Andy?
I like that.
Andy?
I've got a question for you all, because this was something I completely forgot to ask Pete when we did our stream, and I completely missed bringing this up because I don't make notes, which is something I must start doing. But I wondered, because obviously this is taking so much homage to the movies, particularly like Star Trek 2 and 3 and whatever, and the way they set up the whole 17 seconds with Riker's story and everything at the beginning. Did any of you think, when Picard got in that turbo lift, did any of you think that Jack was actually going to die? Did you think they were going to do it?
I thought it was a possibility, and whilst we were watching them trying to resuscitate him, Beverly trying to start his heart again, I genuinely didn't know whether he was going to survive or not.
I think they're lining him up for a series with him. That's what I think, and that's why I didn't.
I would.
That's why I thought he wasn't going to die. I was thinking, because everything seems to be going that way with him. He's very much like Captain Kirk. Tell you the truth, he's very much hot-headed, and he's very he smacks that guy in the face, doesn't he? To get what's the name out. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're lining up. If they're going to do another series,
if you were to put Chris Pine. If you were to cross Chris Pine and Tom Hardy together, you'd get this guy. He's absolutely the future of Star Trek, in my view, Terry. If you're watching again this week, mate, hello.
I think they're lining it up. I think they're lining it up for him to be in part of the next generation of Star Trek. I think so. But anyway, that's just my theory.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nice.
I like it.
Okay, so I think the thing that really, really annoyed me was when they did the exposition about you know, about his history and how old he was. And I know the act, you know, you can visually tell the actor's a lot older than 20 years.
Yeah.
And
That was
so
yeah.
yeah. And so well, I'm glad you agree, because I was like, am I the only one that thinks
No, you're not.
It's just a little
You're
bit
not.
out of it. Just and I honestly, I had in my own, maybe it's because I was disappointed my headcanon didn't work out, that, you know, I thought that's the reason why she was off the ship for a year, you know, off the Enterprise for a year, because it would have made more logical sense.
I went down the same rabbit hole, actually, whereas I was thinking, that it happened during season 2 or 3, or no, season 2, wasn't it?
No, it was 2.
Yeah, which would make him about 30.
And she was really pregnant at that time, so you know.
Yeah, and also, of course, I mean, I know it's the 25th century, or would have been the 24th then, but you know, Beverly was obviously quite old to get pregnant.
I thought that too.
It's the future, Keith. It's the future, mate. It's the future.
Fertility drugs. Fertility drugs.
That's episode 3 of season 3 of Star Trek Picard. It continues with no win scenario on March the 9th on Paramount Plus in the US, on the CTV Sci-Fi Channel and Crave in Canada, and the next day on Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime on the following day. Yes, in the UK. God, I'm always cocking that up. The series is available internationally, pretty much everywhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening along with us for this review. Let's head back to the other frontier
Talk
and
about
see
it for
what
another
everybody
hour,
else,
Dan.
see what everybody else has got to say.